Hi everyone, my name is Sarah Ushery. I am a wife. My husband and I have been married for almost 16 years and a mother. We have 6 beautiful daughters, 14, 13, 11, 10, 8, and 3. So it's just kind of a crazy household. There's a lot of talking, and on days when I get off of work and I come home, I have 6 girls who are usually gathered around the chair wanting to talk to me all at once. Um, I can't complain too much. I have been very blessed with amazing daughters who are pretty good, but it is kind of a new and crazy season that we're in, as we have a 14-year-old who's learning to drive, and we have a 3-year-old who is learning to push boundaries and see how close to the line she can get, and just learning to navigate life. And so it's a very unique and difficult season sometimes that we're in, but I always tell people I wouldn't have it any other way. We live in Spirit Lake, Iowa. It's considered the Great Lakes of Iowa, the area we live in, and I work at the local hospital here as a nurse full-time on the med-surg floor. I get pulled to ER and OB as needed. Right now I'm spending a lot of time in the ER just because we're very busy with all the lake and summer activities that go around here. It's really considered our busy season, and we just are completely swamped sometimes in our ER. But I love my job, and I am excited about continuing my education and learning more about how I can become a better nurse and care for people better. I'm really excited about this class because I've kind of been on a spiritual class of my own and just diving into the story of my life and walking through the different stories that I have lately and just seeing where God is in those stories and working through them. And kind of as I read through the parable of the lost son, made me think a little bit about how I grew up in the church I grew up and stuff. And the first part where it talks about how when Jesus would teach, that tax collectors and sinners would often come and listen to him. And the Pharisees they didn't like it. They couldn't believe it. And they couldn't believe that Jesus would sit and eat with them, with these sinners. And that relationship, between the older brother and the younger brother, and how he was just so distraught that his dad would do a feast for his brother that just went away and squandered all his money and used his father's inheritance on things that were no good. And here we are having a celebration, but I've never gotten anything. And he was this good son who did what he was told, and he just was really put away. But that the father said, in the end of it, we had to celebrate this happy day, for your brother was dead and has come back to life, and he was lost, but now he is found. And I think a lot about how the church I grew up in, there wasn't a lot of place for sinners. There wasn't a lot of place for people who didn't live the holy life, who didn't walk with Jesus the way they thought they should. And if you weren't living that life or following that narrow, the strict line, you kind of were cast aside. And it just seems so opposite of what the parable talks about. And that, we should be celebrating the sinners, the lost ones who come to Christ, who find Jesus. But just that, I've seen it a lot even in the churches that we attend now, even if, they're healthier churches and healthier leadership and stuff, but you still find those people who just, they are so put off by the sinners that are welcomed, and just the fact that they're so good and they do so much good and they always follow Christ. Why would Jesus make room for them? And I always say that this is maybe one of the reasons why I think a lot of people are going to be surprised in heaven at who's there and who's not. And yeah, looking forward to kind of diving more into it.